After today's lesson, you will be able to, using a ready-mix truck, identify to a qualified instructor the 10 components, 4 of which are critical, found on a typical water system. One of the most important commodities found in your concrete truck may not be exactly what you think it is. Now, one of the first things that comes to mind, obviously, is the concrete found in the mixer drum. The load is of importance to a concrete delivery professional, but there's also another precious cargo that's of importance to us, and that is the water found in the water tank. Water? Why, water is as common as the air we breathe. The human body is composed mostly of water, and the earth is 3/4 water. So what's the big deal? The thing is, without water on a mixer, you are unable to wash the truck or to slump the load on the job site. In other words, you can't do your job. Today, we want to focus our attention not so much on the water, but the vessel that can. After today's lesson, you will be able to, using a ready-mix truck, demonstrate to a qualified instructor the correct procedure to test the 4 critical components necessary for the safe operation of a water system. Recall from memory the maximum pressure allowed by the manufacturers of the water tank used in our example. Demonstrate to a qualified instructor the correct procedure for pressurizing and using a typical water system. Finally, demonstrate to a qualified instructor the 5-step process necessary to drain the water system. If you'll recall from part 1, we identified the 10 main components that are found on a typical mixer truck water system. They are the water tank, the water fill port, the pressure activating valve, the regulator, the pressure gauge, the pressure relief valve, the sight tube, water lines, various valves, and finally, hoses and nozzles. All right, with that behind us, let's move forward. Do you remember a little earlier, I raised the question about what would happen if your water tank pressure exceeded the manufacturer's requirement of 55 psi? Here's some facts that will help you out. The manufacturer of the water tank has engineered and tested these water tanks and has determined that exceeding 55 psi is dangerous and may cause the tank to rupture or even explode. Once the water tank has been pressurized with air, it becomes a pressure vessel. Anytime there is a tank or container with its contents under pressure, there is always a risk of rapid loss of pressure. There's been times when one or more of these components malfunctioning resulted in a tank explosion and an injury to the delivery professional. This means you should be absolutely certain the pressure activating valve, the regulator, the air pressure gauge, and the pressure